Cool factor. What is cool factor? Cool factor means a thing that makes something cool, or the measure of how good a party is going to be depending on who's going to be there. In TCGs, aside from important aspects such as how fun the game is or how competitive the environment is, aesthetic is always a thing that people tends to account for when trying out a game, a certain card, or a deck. In the Vanguard anime, cool factor is always present whether in side characters or especially in the main characters, such as Aichi being the good royal paladin kid to the edgy shadow paladin guy, or Chrono with his steampunk set of cards from Gear Chronicle, his chrono jets, his time leaps, and the trigger sacking. The dress era of the game was also no exception from having cool factor being present. Yu Yu Kondo has his Ace Trickstar evolve into higher grades with different looks and purposes, but the keyword dress was along the way given to other characters, such as the leader of Daybreak, Mirei, with Dress Boost, then Overdress, a new rival at the start of the Will Dress season with Raika having Revol Dress, and then, late into the show, the wonderful Urara having Unison Dress. So I wanted to take a look at the special and cool anime abilities / keywords the main characters use in the dress seasons of the show, and outside of it, before New Year comes and Divine Z starts. Let's first start with the titular Overdress. Whenever a unit with Overdress could be normal called to the rearguard circle, you may instead perform an Overdress, by placing it on top of another rearguard that meets the conditions stated in the Overdress ability, which is usually asking for Trickstar or maybe another Virina. In that case, the unit is placed on the rearguard circle in an Overdress state, with the previous unit under it, and remains that way on the field. This is not considered a normal call, and when an Overdress is performed, the process is as follows. The Overdress unit is placed on the rearguard circle on top of the unit. The main type of unit that was on the rearguard circle is changed from a unit to an original dress, which are the cards underneath the Overdress unit. An original dress is not considered a unit or a card on the field. In the early parts of the show, Overdress, Trickstar's deck was shown off being a weird deck with not much people choosing it, and to be fair, that was sort of the case in real life, till the Grade 4 Mahar Nirvana came alongside the Grade 4 rearguard Esperardia, and became a threat that could deal 2 damage in the main phase with Emilia, while having up to 5 swings itself with Esperardia. And that was pretty much as deadly as the mechanic gets for now as a deck. But as utility, some cards would still see play alongside future Dragon Empire decks, notably Arcs, Esperardia, and Veilord. And a gimmicky build utilizing both Overdress and Cross Overdress to accomplish an order card called Clad in Prayer. It's peace reliant, bricky, and it drains your hand, but the potential is there, and I don't see it not ever working, so try it out for fun, and for Yu Yu's sake, make him proud. Next is Cross Overdress. Whenever a unit with Cross Overdress could be normal called to the rearguard circle, you may instead perform Cross Overdress, and place it on the rearguard circle in the Cross Overdress state, with the required units under it, and it remains that way on the field. This is not considered a normal call. When a Cross Overdress is performed, the process is as follows. The Cross Overdress unit is then placed on the chosen rearguard circle, and all units that became original dress in the above step became associated with it. The Cross Overdress unit and its associated original dress follow the same association rules as Overdress. Cross Overdressing a unit is not considered overdressing, and vice versa. Cross Overdress is the quote-unquote better version of Overdress, and that's the closest thing to simulating a fusion summon in the game for now. I say quote-unquote because the deck has pretty mixed results, and even with set 13, while early meta of the game sort of considered it to be kinda viable, it still falls short compared to its peers in the same set like Revoldress, Full Blast, or Leonore Unison Dress. Most likely due to the deck still having the same issues as the past, but come on, the deck has draw power from lots of sources such as Arcs and Brahmada, recovery with Jiva and Vils, and the counter charge everyone was asking for, while also drawing with Mirrors. Honestly, the only reason it could go forward was further banking on the mechanic with huge risks and investments, so they gave us Stravirina, which is honestly pretty cool. Next up is Dress Boost. As the name implies, it's an ability that has something to do with boosting. It's probably the second least expanded upon gimmick, while only having 2 cards with the ability. First of which is Trick Moon, which is the big booster that gives 10,000 power to the unit it's currently boosting for each arms Bavsarga currently has equipped. Now Bavsarga is a deck that, aside from calling your own trick stars, also equips weapons with varying abilities up to 2 times because she herself has 2 arms, one on the left and one on the right. Trick Moon is basically the assistant in her shenanigans. In the anime, Mirei hates overdressing and overdressed cards for some reason, and now she gets them again as her character accepts something, as her partner Trick Moon evolves into Veilord, which does a lot of more assisting and hitting hard with Bavsarga. Veilord protects itself from removal that includes choosing, lets you gain soul and re-equip other arms you would want, and still boosts hard, now covering the entire front row. All in all, Veilord is a great card that the boss herself would appreciate. The fourth dress on our list would be Revoldress. Revoldress is a pretty simple ability to explain. What it does is, at the end of battle that a Vanguard attacked with Revoldress ability, you may ride a Revolve form card from your hand as stand, and it gets minus drive 2 until the end of turn. This deck has a pretty weird history. At the start of the deck's life, it was deemed as mid and gave it a nickname Midberg, till Gust came and some results have shown, then Tempest came and became meta, and became one of the most expensive decks around. Even when Set 13 reveals came, history repeated itself and people began to laugh at Full Blast because of his abilities. Then 2 rear guards came that helped with the conditions of the deck, and the deck became meta again. Our first 3 Revolve forms consist of Zest, which is a turn 4 huge beater and adds crit to itself, Gust, which adds drive and power to itself, then the best out of the 3 colors, which guarantees you a +2, a small buff to your front row, and a potential snipe to 2 of your opponent's rear guards. I'm so sorry. Fuck you. Which is Tempest. They're pretty simple in effects, and especially compared to the huge card decks that Overdress and Cross Overdress has, and that simplicity really divided people initially at debating whether Youth was great or a mid deck. Then here we have the boy himself, Youthberg Full Blast. When Zest is in the soul, it gains plus crit. When Gust is in the soul, it gains plus drive. And when Tempest is in the soul, snipe one of your opponent's rear. But while all of them are in the soul, all of your front row units gain a mega buff of plus 15k power. It's the culmination of the 3 forms of Youth, and basically, it's pretty good, and it really skyrocketed the deck back to meta tier again. The 5th dress on our list is Unison Dress. This ability came pretty late in the anime, so as of now it only has 1 card with the ability. Though without much quantity, the card came with a lot of quality, as it has the ability to attack up to 6 times, and with Resonance Dragon swing for a 7th time, while still having the insane multi-boost gimmick Leonorn is known for. And it also lets you draw on ride. It may be turn 4, but Leonorn as a deck is well equipped both on board, and always lets you have sufficient hand, access to Drop Zone Revival, and some multi-swing turn 3. All Leonorns of traits are enough to pave way for the finisher card of the deck, and it's really good that this set 13 meta really let Leonorn finally shine. And probably the last type of dress for now is Dress Up. Dress Up is probably the least explosive dress ability in the game, as all it does is lets the card be counted as their previous version during the game as an ability, but it still means you could run 4 of each of the previous version and the prior. I say least explosive because it's not an ability that lets you stack something on something like Overdress, Cross Overdress, Revoldress, or required to stack something in order to do big turn like Unison Dress. The dress up upgrades of the cards are usually effects similar to the original card with slight tinkering of restrictions, slight upgrades, or abilities that's different altogether. While least explosive, the gimmick helps with rearguard support that specifically needs the original version of the Vanguard. This may be an onboard rearguard skill, or a search ability, or a sub-clan name shenanigans like Ernest Correct. We could probably assume every lyrical boss is getting their dress up upgrade, but they skipped Kyrie, since as of now, we have bosses from Set 1 and Set 2 already here. In the competitive scene, Willista is the flagship girl with the meta results, and got hit by the ban list, while others have seen at least rogue success from time to time. So, what do they all have in common? Why are they all called dress? Instead of just being a cool factor and the main character symbol / status, dress abilities do have something similar. They all stack at some point. Overdress and Cross Overdress stacks in the main phase, Revolt Dress stacks in the battle phase, and Urgra but no one remembers him. Unison Dress stacks in the ride phase, Dress Boost stacks power to the boosted allies, and even Dress Up, while not inherently stacking in card decks, has a gameplay style that finds itself being able to stack/ride with their previous self. So, do I like the cool keyword factor here? Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun to at least have some gimmick to make you special while playing the game, and at the end of the day, aren't games for fun as well? Hi, so this part isn't scripted or anything. I just wanted to say, thank you for watching the video. For the longest time, I've really tried to make something for the Vanguard community. I really wanted to make a video that's sort of entertaining while also being informational, and something that would entertain outsiders of the community so that the Vanguard community would be larger and would be a way more appreciated game. Yeah, I just really wanted to contribute something to the international scene of Vanguard, international community. I've been really inspired by channels such as Past Turn, Different Fight, Outer Orange really inspires me, and especially Solemn Vanguard. Like, his vlogs are really entertaining. Since G era, I've been watching Solemn Vanguard, and going up to something as good, being as good as him is one of my dreams. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. It really means a lot to me for sticking around, and yeah, bye.